So I would get the right words.
So where are we going?
Netherlands and Belgium.
She got that right.
Amsterdam is a city of canals and bikes, skateboards, scooters, and this thing, but mostly bikes. Lots of bikes.
Look at all those bikes.
We stayed in a hotel on the outskirts of Amsterdam, near the Sloterdijk train station. It was conveniently located on a tram line with easy transfers to the center and perimeter of the city. Downloading the GVB app was the easiest way to buy and use tickets for the buses and trams. Onboard displays showed the current and upcoming stops. Remember to press the stop request button before your stop. Using the app is as simple as scanning a QR code as you board and disembark. For travel to other cities in the Netherlands, you'll need to buy a separate ticket on the Sprinter trains. While in Amsterdam, we visited 6 museums, starting with the Six Collection and the Resistance Museum. The Six Collection contains a variety of artwork, including an original family portrait by Rembrandt. Tours are free, but only with a reservation, which are limited, so plan ahead online. Sorry, no photography was allowed. The Resistance Museum is all about the Dutch resistance during World War II. Well worth the price of admission, or free if you buy the museum card. Our next museum was the Van Gogh Museum, one of my very favorite artists. It was so nice to be able to get close to the artwork and see the details and brushstrokes.
That's the Rijks Museum. And this is the Van Gogh Museum that we just went to. And Linda loved it.
Awesome. Nearby was the Rijksmuseum. The Dutch love bikes so much there is a bike path through the middle of the building. This was one of the best museum experiences we've ever had. Along with the amazing art and excellent audio guides, the architecture was beautiful and the exhibits were well laid out. It also had the best museum cafe we've ever visited.
Did you have a nice day at the Rijks Museum?
Yes. I'm overstimulated. In a good way. Wait, not that way. Another experience that should not be missed is the Anne Frank House. The museum contains the actual Anne Frank house and provides an excellent audio tour telling the story of the Frank family. We don't have much to show as photography is not allowed in the actual exhibit, except in the optional introductory program that provides a detailed history before entering the main exhibits. We thought it added a lot to the experience. Our last recommendation is the Rembrandt House.
I think we go over a canal.
It provides an interesting look at how Rembrandt lived and worked. Walking around Amsterdam, we saw some amazing architecture. including what they call the 7 houses. These were created with architectural styles from 7 countries: German, French, Spanish, Italian, Russian, Dutch, and English.
What's this?
It was unseasonably warm during our visit, so occasionally we would walk into town. And apparently, we weren't the only ones enjoying the weather.
Cool, huh? I'm gonna get one of these bikes for Linda so I can carry her around. She's got a little seat in it, and a little seat belt, so she can sit in the front. You like that idea?
I love that idea.
It's the car you want.
Watch out for
This feels like us. A lot of new Dutch eating and drinking.
Yum.
As always, our goal is to enjoy as much local cuisine as possible.
Linda's all happy because she got this big giant bacon and cheese thing.
Mushrooms.
This is my meal. Half a puffer Dutch.
One of our pursuits was the best Dutch apple pie,
Fried
and we
platter.
heard Winkel 43 was the place
Flatbread.
to go.
And what kind of soup?
Paprika
Paprika soup.
with Gouda cheese.
With Gouda cheese.
Croutons. Yum.
Did you get any apple? No good?
You won't like this at all. I think I'd really have it.
Giant piece of pie.
Next was the quest for the best fries in Amsterdam. Parmesan fries with truffle aioli from Fable Free won the prize.
Fries and what are they? Beef croquettes. From
One night we ate at a local favorite called Moeders, which translates to mothers. Quick tip, get a reservation. Its walls are lined with thousands of pictures of customers' mothers, even in the bathroom. We enjoyed classic Dutch comfort food, including spare ribs, beef stew, potatoes, and cabbage, and of course fries. We spent one day visiting the nearby city of Haarlem.
Beste reizigers, dit is de sprinter naar Zandvoort Zuid.
Haarlem is home to the Corrie ten Boom House. If you've read The Hiding Place, you'll know the story behind this house. The tour is free, but you must have a reservation. And as you can see, there are very few spots available each day. So, book ahead. It's totally worth the effort. You get to see the entire house and hear the story of what happened, but photography is only allowed in the actual hiding place, where the family hid Jews from the Nazis. Haarlem is a small, walkable town with more than enough sights to fill an entire day. Tours of the operational windmill were affordable and worth the time. From the top of the windmill, we noticed this interesting building. It ended up being a repurposed prison.
It's a huge dome covering the.
If you're lucky, the local paddleboard girls will serenade you on your way out of town.
Maar dit ken ik niet.
Are they really that accurate? Our train's supposed to arrive at 8:47. Boom, 8:47. Literally 2 minutes later, we're on the train.
Our next day trip was to the historic city of Delft, famous for its blue pottery. The day we visited happened to be during the annual Heritage Days. This meant it was fairly crowded, but also provided some unique opportunities, like a live reenactment of a day in the life of City Hall. It was all in Dutch, but we really enjoyed it.
Begrijp jij nou wat hij zegt? Wat voor een
They even provided entertainment for those waiting in line. After the reenactment, we took a boat tour through the canals of the city. Our recommendation? Avoid the boat tours in the middle of the day. They are like floating greenhouses.
The old church in Delft is especially interesting. As it was being built, it started to lean, so when they got to the top, they angled the spires back to vertical. Notice the clock is not symmetrically placed between the spires.
After Delft, we took a quick trip to The Hague, home of the International Criminal Court. But we were here for the Escher Museum. M.C. Escher was known for creating surreal artwork with impossible optical illusions and transforming tessellations.
While in The Hague, we saw they were offering a free tour of the former U.S. Embassy, a structure designed by the famous architect Marcel Breuer. This embassy closed when the new embassy opened in 2018.
After a week in Amsterdam, we took the train to Brussels, Belgium. Our Airbnb was conveniently located a short tram ride from the train station. From there, we were able to walk anywhere in the old city within about 10 minutes. This area of Brussels is called the Pentagon. Likewise, we could easily take a train from the Midi station to visit other areas of Belgium. Arriving in Brussels, we headed straight for the Grand Place, the famous square in the middle of the city. This is the place I was looking for. Many consider this to be the most beautiful town square in the world. Over the next few days, we explored much of the city by foot. Brussels has so many beautiful gardens and parks to see, some with very interesting sculptures and murals. In the evening, we took a tour of the Old Town Hall, which was actively operating until December of 2022. Now it's a museum with original art and tapestries dating back 500 years. Like the Netherlands, Belgium is known for its own cuisine. And we did our best to enjoy as much of it as we could.
Yeah, there you are. All right. Mussels, fried fish. Yes, you've got mussels in Brussels. Yummy. Back. Oh, she got more fries. Some extra sauce on it. We saved our fanciest dinner to celebrate our anniversary and reserved a table for two at the Arms de Brussels. Oh yeah. And in the mouth it goes. And a happy Linda it is.
And of course, we had to find some good chocolate. It wasn't hard.
How many times are we going to be in Belgium buying chocolate?
Yeah. Only one's doing first class riding. Probably overspent.
Probably because second class looks exactly the same.
Yeah, except these nice velour seats.
From Brussels, we took a short day trip to Bruges. It was quite crowded, both on the streets and on the canals.
It's ready to go.
Le bâtiment qui est ici, ça c'est la mer.
We visited several churches and paid the small extra fee to see Michelangelo's Madonna of Bruges. After dealing with the crowds, we sought out this wonderfully quiet place called Beguinage. Talking was not allowed. Another short trip was to Ypres, home to historic Flanders fields. The museum there retells the stories from the World War I battlefield where hundreds of thousands died. Our longest day trip was a guided bus tour to Luxembourg with a stop in Dinant on the way back. The bus ride was more than 3 hours each way. Unfortunately, the long ride meant we only got a couple hours in Luxembourg and about an hour in Dinant. Both Luxembourg and Dinant were beautiful, but we would recommend skipping the bus tour and spending a few days exploring this area on your own. Dinant is famous for the citadel overlooking the town, but is perhaps more famous for being the birthplace of the saxophone. After taking the train back to Amsterdam, we spent our last night at a hotel near the airport and flew home the next morning.
Hey, is this our hotel?
At the end of another great trip, we can't wait to figure out which European country to visit next. Tot ziens and au revoir!